Hey, just spent the last 2.5 hours struggling, struggling to get through Wonder Woman 1984. This movie would not have made a lot of money. Oh, no, no, no. This movie would not have made nowhere near the amount of money as the first one. This was this was a bad flick. I'm gonna get right into it. This ain't gonna be long, I promise you. This was bad. And the reviews right now on it are very, very mixed, very divided, and not divided in a good way. This was a bad movie, and I mean bad. So let's get into it. We have Lil Diana competing in the Amazonian Games. There's some foreshadowing because there's different events going on. You see one Amazonian actually use her whip or her lasso to kind of catapult through long distances with different buildings. So there's the final race. Little Diana's in the lead until she's knocked off her horse. She cheats, takes a shortcut to get back on the horse, missed one of the checkpoints. Antioch tells Diana that she's not ready to win, and that is the truth. So the whole theme of this thing is the truth. The truth is more important than anything. It's bigger than anything and everybody. That's all we have is the truth. Hippolyta tells a story of Asteria having the courage to fix the truth to little Diana. Alright, so then flash forward. Yeah. Fast forward to 1984. Diana saves a runner from being ran over from a guy in a Firebird. There's an oil tycoon named Maxwell Lord. He operates Black Gold Cooperative. He's offering to sell shares of his company to the public. Diana thwarts a jewel heist and saves a kid from being thrown over the second floor balcony. The ID of Wonder Woman is a mystery. Diana is a single woman. She still pines for Steve. Diana meets Barbara Minerva, aka Cheetah, at the Smithsonian. Barbara then notices Diana's cheetah print heels. There's a lot of cheetah print in this movie. We already know the science behind the cheetah prints. I'm not going to go into it. The fat girl from Insecure is Barbara's boss. Whoop-de-doo. Barbara and Diana identify a citrine stone. They deem it to be a fake. There's a Latin inscription that says, "Glaze upon the object and get one great wish." Diana makes a wish. And then Steve's watch that she kept as a memento begins to tick on her mantle in her apartment. Diana envies Barbara's freedom. Diana confides in Barbara. Diana briefly talks about Steve. Barbara then feeds a homeless black man. So out of all this homelessness in America, because I keep trying to tell people black men are going to be the face of every known dysfunction in this country. In a movie this big, so yeah, Barbara feeds the homeless black man in this movie. And then Barbara is attacked by some guy she's sexually assaulted. And then Diana shows up to rescue her. Barbara then grabs the dream stone and then wishes to be like Diana. The next day, Barbara starts getting attention from everybody and then meets Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, aka the motherfucker in the mask in The Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal was also one of the cops in Narcos, the Netflix series a few years ago. He was also in that spy movie with Taron Egerton, The Kingsman 2. He was in that movie too. Diana meets Maxwell. Maxwell's behind on bills. He has a son. Maxwell's partner Simon wants out of the business with with Maxwell. He's running a Ponzi scheme. So Simon gives Max 48 hours to give him his money. He calls Simon a con man. Diana is looking for the stone at the fundraiser for Maxwell because he donated a lot of money to the Smithsonian. It was all a cover for him to get the stone. That's pretty much it. At the fundraiser for Maxwell, both Diana and Barbara show up. Barbara is the center of attention. Barbara and Maxwell go back to her office. Maxwell steals the stone. A man then calls out to Diana. She doesn't recognize him at first. And then it's Steve. He utters the last words he said to her before she died. Then she sees his face. And then they hug and embrace. It was actually a sweet moment. Steve and Diana reconnect. Steve has inhabited the body of another man, an engineer. So everyone sees the regular person, but only Diana sees Steve. Okay? Back in his office, Maxwell wishes to be the actual dream stone. He wants to be the stone that grants the wish. So then the stone is absorbed into Maxwell. Barbara then wakes up the next day and discovers she has super strength. I will say this. The on-screen chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine is very, very good. I mean, very, very, very good. It's believable. Okay, if you told me they were dating off-screen, I believe it. Okay. They decide to go look for the stone and investigate how it works. At the gym, Barbara starts lifting a massive amount of weights. Max then confronts his partner Simon and then tricks him into wishing for black gold to change the world. In the process of Simon making his wish, Max says, "I'm going to take all of your shares and assume full control of black gold." As he leaves the office, the IRS come into it to arrest Simon for tax purposes. Back at Steve's apartment, he briefly tries on a cheetah print shirt. She takes him out. He gets on an escalator. He discovers the subway. And then they're outside. And then she says, "Oh, look." Steve says, "What's this?" Oh, she says, "Oh, that's break dancing." So you have these break dancers in this scene. And guess what nationality or ethnicity of people are not breakdancing in this scene? That's an Easter egg for those that know me about the breakdancing. Maxwell's business begins to boom. He has his assistant make a wish for more help. Then staff just starts showing up to help with the calls. Back at the Smithsonian, Barbara is the center of attention. Barbara tells Diana Maxwell has the stone. Steve and Diana break into black gold. Diana struggles to break a lock, so she's slowly starting to lose her powers. Diana then discovers the stone was written in a language by the gods. She speaks about universal elements used by the gods, i.e. like she explains how her lasso of truth, it's powered by the truth. Okay. Maxwell has been tracking the stone for years. They steal a fighter plane from the Smithsonian to fly to Cairo to stop Maxwell. Diana then uses her power to make the plane invisible. It's the same trick Zeus used to hide Themyscira from everybody else. All right. It's a magic trick. Steve then explains how flight works to Diana. Barbara then discovers the stone's origin and then comes across the same attacker from the first act. She then confronts him and begins to kick him down the street before the homeless black guy shows up and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" In Cairo, Maxwell meets with the Sultan in Cairo, and the Sultan asks Maxwell, "How do you become so lucky?" The Sultan then wishes for his ancestral land dynasty to be returned and that the heathens be kicked out. In exchange, Maxwell says, "Well, I'm going to take your oil." The Sultan laughs and says, "Well, I sold my oil to the Saudis." Well, then Max says, "I'm going to take your private security." Okay, so as he's leaving with his private security, then the heathens or the Saudis show up to confront the Sultan. So all this time, the Sultan was the heathen in occupied land. Make that make sense? I mean, it makes sense, but I thought it was a funny twist. So then Steve and Diana attempt to confront Max in Cairo. This is in the trailers when you see the tanks and the guns and the trucks when she's running down the street. Listen, if you're looking for action, there's only 3 action scenes in this movie. Pacing is a problem. It is nothing like the first Wonder Woman. You will be thoroughly disappointed. And if you're gonna, only a delusional DC fan would say this is a good movie or this is a good step in the right direction, considering the first Wonder Woman. First Wonder Woman was excellent. This is basura. Let's continue with this. So then Steve and Diana attempt to confront Max in Cairo. She catches a 50 caliber bullet with her lasso. I say Diana caught a 50 caliber bullet with her lasso. Diana's then shot in the shoulder. She then breaks the drive axle of one of the trucks. It's the scene where you see her jumping over the truck. As the truck flips over, she broke the drive axle. Diana then confronts Max looking for the stone. He tells her, hey, you're looking at it. Diana then uses her lasso to catapult off a rocket and then off a telephone cell tower to save 2 kids. Then the Soviet Union recognizes the emir's claim to the Sultan's land, and then the U.S. backs Egypt's claim to back the Sultan. Max now owns half of the world's oil reserve. Barbara tells Diana the stone showed up in the Indus Valley 4,000 years ago, then in Carthage, then in Kush, and then Romulus from Rome had it. The last time it was seen was from a dead city from Sheba Sultan. The stone causes destructions of civilizations. Barbara then goes to see Baba Jid about the stone. The stone destroyed the Mayan civilization. The god of lies created the stone. It's called, i.e. the monkey's paw. So Steve says, oh yeah, it's the monkey's paw. The wish will cost you your most prized possession. Okay, the stone has to be destroyed or the wish has to be renounced or given back. Barbara doesn't believe it. She refused to renounce her wish, and then Barbara leaves. Maxwell has to watch his son. Max grants people's wishes. Max wants to grant a mass wish to everybody all at once. Max's health is failing because it takes a piece of you. Max's son Alistair wishes for his father's kindness. Max's then his driver then wishes the traffic would part like the Red Sea. There's a riot at the Saudi embassy. Diana tells Steve he's the only joy she's ever had. Steve then tells Diana she has to renounce her wish. Of course, she says no. Diana shows Steve the history of the golden armor. This is what the wings, she looks like Goldar from the Power Rangers. That's the best way I can describe this armor. Goldar from the goddamn Power Rangers. Okay? Diana shows Steve the history of the golden armor. Hippolyta had freed the Amazons from the slavery of man, but Asteria had to stay behind to give them enough time to escape. Just like in 300 when Leonidas and them had to go to the hot gates to give to fight off the Persians, to give the people enough time to get out of town. That was pretty much it. All right. So then everybody gave a piece of their armor to Asteria to create this suit to be able for her to be able to fight them off and hold them off. And they went back to find Asteria. They couldn't find her, but they found the armor. So Diana has the fucking armor. Max then goes to the White House. Steve and Diana follow suit. The president then wishes for more nuclear weapons. Max says, okay, I want presidential power, influence, no taxes, wishes to be his own foreign nation with autonomy, no rule of law. He then wants to use the global broadcast system. It uses particle beam technology. So what it does is it shoots out particle beams, and then it affects all electronics, and then is able to pick up the waves from the broadcast system. Diana then confronts Max and the Secret Service, and then Barbara confronts Diana, allowing Max to escape. Barbara and Diana question each other about the cost of their wishes. The president has been alerted that Russia has 100 warheads on standby. Diana is severely weakened. Steve convinces Diana to renounce her wish. She then uses her lasso to hitch a ride from an airplane and then learns to fly using Steve's instructions about how to catch the wind. Max then tells Barbara he can grant more wishes. They go to the presidential underground bunker. Max then preps for the broadcast. He tells the people of the world to make a wish. Diana can hear the people's wishes, just like Superman can hear everybody's cries, right? Diana then grabs, oh shit. What? As he takes the people's life. Oh, okay. So as people are making wishes, Max is like, I want your soul, I want your life force, I want your health, I want your strength, I want your vitality to restore his own health. Okay. So then Diana breaks into the bunker, then faces off with Cheetah. Cheetah begins to overpower the wings of the armor. They fight underwater. A power line falls into the water. Cheetah gets electrocuted. She's not dead though. Diana then confronts Max. Max then steps into the particle beam. Diana wraps the lasso around his foot. Diana then admits the truth that she wants Steve more than anything, but the truth is enough, and the truth is beautiful. Diana tells the world, she's talking to the world at this point, she tells the world to renounce their wishes to save the world. They're not alone. The world is in utter chaos at this point, okay? Max's backstory. He and his mother were abused by his father. They grew up poor. Max went to school with holes in his shoes. Max got beat for wetting the bed. So he has a pretty sad backstory. Soviets launched their missiles. CP30, thank you for the super chat. Damn, it's been so long. I don't know what the fuck a super chat looked like. It's been that long. I'm also broadcasting this live streaming this on the movie review channel as well. Okay. So then Soviets launched the missiles. Max thinks about his son. Max finally renounces his wish. Everybody renounces their wishes. Barbara even renounced her wish. But here's the thing with Barbara. She had two wishes. Okay, first wish was to be like Diana. Second wish was to be an apex predator. So there's two different looks to Barbara, aka Cheetah. She renounced the apex predator wish, but not the first wish to be like Diana. I believe she still has her super strength from the first wish, but we'll see. Max then finds his son. Somehow Max doesn't go to jail. I don't understand how he doesn't go to prison for this. Diana meets the guy that Steve had taken over. Okay, so the guy's body that Steve took over, she finally meets him, like in passing. All right, and then while Diana's flying, she responds to an emergency. Post-credit scene. Linda Carter. Linda Carter still looks good for an old white woman. She still looks good for an old white woman. Botox, facelift, eyebrow lift, whatever she done did, the woman looks good still to this day. So Linda Carter is Asteria. She's walking down the street. A pole falls down. She catches the pole, saving the pole from crushing a little baby. The mother's like, oh my God, thank you. How can I thank you? What is your name? And Linda says, my name's Asteria. And she says, the mother says, oh, that's a beautiful name. And then Asteria says, well, it's from my culture. She says, well, how did you do that? And then she says, well, you shift the weight. You shift your weight. It's pretty easy once you learn how to do it. I've been doing this a very long time. Then she gives a wink, and then she walks off. Linda Carter still fine as hell, This woman's probably in her 70s. That's a good-looking old white woman. That's Wonder Woman 1984. This movie was garbage. This movie was garbage. I really don't have much to say positive about this. This movie was garbage. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I'm so mad. It's not worth the HBO Max subscription, y'all. Fire stick it. Pirate it. I don't know how you can get it. Do not pay the fees, the subscription for this. It's not worth it. You're gonna be upset. Okay. Let me see what else. I think that's it. That's it. It's not even much of a breakdown. It's not even. This movie's not that deep. No, this movie is nothing to watch. The CGI was very terrible. This is why part of the fight scene, that final fight scene with Cheetah was shot at night, or in the nighttime scene, because the CGI was basura, man. Like, it was trash. The lasso effects look cheap. Okay, so for those that have seen this, compare the lasso effect to the first Wonder Woman. It's night and day. Like, this CGI was half-assed. I mean, even on the lasso part. So, it was bad. Was the acting good? Sis? Fuck the acting. There's no acting could have saved it. Pedro did good as Maxwell. I liked Pedro. I'm a fan of Pedro Pascal. Is Gal Gadot a great actress? I liked Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. I believed Steve Trevor. I believed in his character. Chris Pine can act. I like Steve. Steve was, a bit of naive and shock and awe and wonder. Like, oh, it's the 80s. It's his future. Like, I believe that part. But this movie, other than that, it ain't worth the money. It ain't worth the money, y'all. Don't worry about Godzilla vs. Kong. I got buddies that work at Warner Brothers. That movie is good. They said it's good. Well, they said it's great, but they're being biased. But no, don't worry about Godzilla vs. Kong. That movie's gonna do it. That movie is good. They're not fucking around with that one. I think that's it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm sure you figured out why I'm on my backup channel. Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good night. Peace.